Very impressive. Great. So I have this link somewhere. And if you look very closely at this bottom part, as I go, you'll see airplanes pound. If I change this, I'm going to put hard-coded route. And see on the bottom, it says like slash hard-coded route. It's exactly wherever it is I type it. Can I infer then that I can probably do something like slash airplanes /1? If I were to do that, if I were to do that, let me move this back down so it helps. Ready? So like take a look right here. Airplanes 1. If I go to link 2, airplanes 1. If I go to link 3, airplanes 1. That's a terrible experience. I, however, am fortunate enough to know that I'm iterating through, and can I do something like, look like a Ruby, get ID. So now I have link 1, 2, and 3. Right? That's what Chris was trying to show you the other day with the A tag. Now, it gets more powerful. This is built into Rails. Link 2. First argument link 2 takes is what will be displayed. This looks like a Ruby. The second argument is going to be the path. Where am I going to actually go? Airplane /1. Or airplane / because I'm in Ruby already, and I'm in a string, I have to now string interpolate a.id. What will be displayed 1, 2, and 3? See that? Like an accordion. Do you see, like right here on the bottom, it changing? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Great. So I talked about these like helpers, right? And how they're amazing. Can I check my routes? What does this show? Show helper airplane path. Airplane path gives me a get to /id. So let's take this airplane path and see what's going on. Can I do comma airplane path? If I do this, notice what ID am I going to when I do airplane path? / what ID? Does anyone know? It doesn't know. You have to tell it exactly what ID to go to. All right, I can hard code 1 here. Let's do that. Everything will now be 1. 1 always and forever. If I were to say 2, it will always be 2. But if I interpolate the ID, it will be 1, 2, 3. Rails is smart enough to know that this ID, right, this airplane, got me good. Right? I can do just this airplane.id. Ruby will know if I give it the object, it will recognize that this object very likely 100% of the time will have an ID field. So I can now go to their ID. Ruby will also know that if the second argument is always going to be a path, I can tell it the show page just giving it the object. Ruby's powerful. But let's do this to be a little bit more explicit just so you can see it. Cool. Let's talk about these helpers. Nobody move. They're coming for me. Shut up. So I have this airplane path as my helper. How can I customize this airplane path in my routes, right? Instead of this show, because show is being built by Rails, I can do this. Bring this back, little comma action, little as, and I can put show me the show page. Just powerful. I can then refresh, and now show me the show page path will give me this show action. So copy this. Now, instead of the RESTful route, I can simply show me the show page path. Is anyone confused as to how that works? How the helper method can be customized and what it's doing and what it's giving me? Great. I'm just going to leave this alone. So,
that whole thing, that's just in the routes. You didn't actually write anything anywhere else other than.
just in the routes. Yep. Good question. Cool. All right. I can go bloop. Takes me to show 2. Great. So, we understand helpers, right? And now I showed you link 2. I showed you form, form tag, and form 4. Yeah? Let's see something else. We understand edit and delete, edit and update, right? We got that? I will probably need some sort of route for edit and update here. All right, a little bit of like get to airplanes / which one I want / edit. God bless you. With a edit route. Cool. Same thing. This is going to patch airplanes with that particular ID. Going to hit update. Lastly, I will have 2 airplanes with that particular one I want to delete. Yeah? Cool. All right? Do we need this? We need this? Bloop.
Just curious, would 2 airplane method delete, would it be method destroy or?
I can do whatever I want, delete or destroy, right? Whatever I wind up writing here, I have to make sure is named exactly the same in the controller. Absolutely. Cool. Let's do this. Bloop, 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 bloop. And now, because I want this, I can do, because I built it. So, all routes. Except this one's customized. Because it's cool like that. For your learning. So, any questions on routing, custom routing, and hitting these controller actions? Great. I'm going to go over delete, and that is this. What is my delete here? It's actually destroy, right? So what do I need to name this method? It defaults to destroy, right? And Acrobat has destroyed. So first thing I want to do is, in this destroy, is it similar to new, edit, update, and create that I need to have some sort of form to destroy? Do I need this form to destroy? Do I need fill in or take the user input to destroy? The answer is no, right? The user just simply has to click some destroy button, and then I need to hit this action. So I need to find the instance at airplane equals to airplane.find with the params of the ID, absolutely, and then airplane.destroy. Just blast it away. Does not exist anymore. And now What do I do? Do I render here? I should redirect. To what? Can I redirect to the show page? Why? Does not exist because I just deleted it. So I need to go to the airplane's path. But where did this come from? Where did that come from? This is going to give me the index because of the airplane's path. So I redirect to the airplane's path. Great. How do I hit this route? How do I hit the destroy? Right? So let's take a look. I have the route and I have the action. In my index, or any file I want to, there's a couple things I can do. I can simply hit the route. All I need to do is hit the route. Link to, delete this instance. Wahahaha. Right? I don't know, angry? Angry? Devil? This one, right? Wahahaha. What is the path I want to do? What is the path I want to hit for delete? Why does delete not have its own? It doesn't give it to you. Why? What's the difference between this, and this? Character for character, what's the difference between this, and this? So the airplane path gives me this. So, airplane path. Do I need to pass it in an object? Because it needs to know which one, right? The ID. So, which is coming from this airplane object right here, right? What will this link to default as? A link to will default to a get, because it's just a link. Can I change the method to, so link to will default to a get. Only difference between these three is whether or not the HTTP verb was patch, put, or delete. So I'm telling it to go to the airplane path, but use the delete method. So the airplane path says, great, I have three choices. Use the delete choice. And that will hit airplanes destroy. So, look, okay, just kidding, psych. If I click this, where will it go? Cool? I just needed to hit the route. That's all I need to do. So the only difference between these is the HTTP verb. If I was really grimy and I put patch, what route would I wind up hitting? I would hit update, right? So you have to be purposeful of your code. You have to know what you're doing. If you start guessing, it will throw you in weird places and you will not understand where or why you're there. Does that make sense? Cool. The last thing I want to show you is, well, let's make a new one because I just blew my load on that delete. Deleted everything. All right, cool. Let's do this button thing, and it has one wing. Poor button. Great. Last thing I want to show you is this button 2. All right? What if I forgot how to do button 2? I wanted, I don't know, maybe Rails to help me write a button. Rails button. helper. Wow, powerful. Where would I use button tag? Form tag, right? I would put it inside the form tag if I wanted a button inside my form. Because remember, form tag had the submit tag, and the input tag, and the number tag, and the I'm really tired tag, right? Button 2. Let's take a look at these powerful docs here. Button 2 takes in all these parameters. Let's look at some powerful examples for button 2. Button to new, action new, will build me a form that will post to a controller new, class button 2, input new. Let's see how we can make this work for us. Wow, look at this one. Isn't this powerful? Cool. So let's just rip this, Bad Johnson. Right? That's what good devs do. Right? I literally said this, right? I said, if I forgot how to do something, where can I reference it? How can I reference it? And let's make it work. Right? Bloop. Well, I know already destroy. Well, let's do this. Let's test it. Bloop. Interesting. Interesting. So, button 2, destroy, is what kind of comes across here. Sorry, this button 2 is like the other one. Right? It says destroy. What if I change this to, and I put this fancy thinking emoji in there? What can I possibly imagine will change on this page?
Wow, that is so cool. I didn't know the emoji would actually render.
And now you do. So, what is this? Well, let's take a look at this corner and see where will this button, actually that's not going to work. Where will this button take me to? It's not as intuitive. What does this look like to you? The route. It looks like the route. What do I actually want it to hit? /airplanes/ID. Right? But I can also do, I need this powerful double string interpolation. Cool? For string interpolation. Right? Cool. What's this method? What does that look like to you? I'm telling it to go to airplanes/ID with a method of delete. What do you think that will hit? The destroy. What does this do? Remote true, Data, confirm, are you sure? Disable with loading. I think you could probably take a wild guess, right? If I click this. Confirm, are you sure? Confirm. Like, really? What? Lols, right? No. Refresh. Cool. Cool, right? You won't see it because it's so fast, but while it's processing, it'll change the button to loading instead of this like, sort of like think emoji. Right? Did you see how they just literally ripped some code? What did I Google? Did I Google exactly what I was trying to do? Or did I Google the exact syntax that I've memorized how to do? I was like, I want some button in Rails. Is there a helper for it? Rails button helper. Then I clicked through what? The first 2 links, and then I saw some examples, and then I played with the examples, and then now I understand it. Now I can implement a button anywhere inside my Rails app, right? Can I make this button do something besides delete? Sure, maybe I do a get, and maybe I just get to /airplanes, which would bring me to the index page. So just be very careful and very purposeful with your code. So now if I were to refresh, this should bring me to the index, right? Bloop. And it did. And then it's right back to where it was. Change that to, actually, what will this give me? A get to airplane/ID. It will, yes, it will bring me to show, right? So this airplane path will do all of these and change only on the method. So instead of this, trash, oops. Oh yeah, I don't have the ID for this. Cool. Now it will delete, right? I'm sorry. Now it will delete. Right? Do you understand these like custom features, custom routing, RESTful routing, button to, link to, regular HTML form and how it's trash and how Rails will block it without authenticity, the form tag and the form for. Did we cover everything I said we would cover in lecture? You had a question?
Yeah, I have a question about when to use form tag versus when to use form for. It seems like form for like does some stuff automatically. What's the benefit?
Absolutely. So the question is, what's the difference? Not sorry, you know the difference. When would I use form tag and when would I use form for? Right? Form for requires an object. So let's just say I'm building out a very popular website like Airbnb, right? Which is, by the way, like a Rails app. And I was to put in something like, where do I want to go? What does this look like to you? Form. Is there a object associated with this form? Let's go to another very popular website. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Oh, there I am. Is there an object associated? Am I creating something when I hit this search? No. If I do not have an object to associate with the form, if I'm not creating or editing or updating something, like a model in my database, but I still need a form, I'll use the form tag. Is that clear as to like the benefits of both and the importance of why I needed to teach you both? Awesome. So, I'll give you the option. Let's check out this powerful refactor. What I can do is in Airplane, I know I'm going to build something called edit eventually. And in my routes, I want to make sure I have the edit and the update. And do I have it? Yes, absolutely. I have the edit and the update. So if I were to go to localhost 3000/airplane/an ID, which I don't think that's the one. It might be 4. Is that one? Good. Then the RESTful route will give me edit. Cool. Why is this page blank? Well, because the route exists, and inside my controller, I have Airplane's controller. I need to do something called, right? Here in my edit, I'm going to probably using what? Form for or form tag? Well, I know that I have the object here, right? In the same way that new, right? I'm going to be editing something. I have the object. So form for at Airplane. This is something you must learn. Cool. Form for will do more than what I told you. It will do sneakily under the hood, right? It will do for this text field, it will call at airplane.model. And it will return what's in here. It will do the same thing right here, super sneaky, and it will do at airplane.wings, taking the object and putting it here. When I was in the new, no ID, no model, no wings, everything was nil. So naturally, this came up as nil, this came up as nil. This submit was a create. But in my edit, I'm going to edit something. In my URL, I have a airplanes for, so I must have airplane equals to airplane.find with the params of ID, right? versus the new, which is just an empty shell of an object. So in my edit, airplane has an ID. It has values in the model, and it has values in the dot wings. Let's take a look. It showed up. It showed up, and it says update. So powerful. Is there a difference between this code and, say, this code right here? Did you see a difference? You did not, right? Can I do maybe something like just rip the form and say in my edit, render something called form. Underscore just means it's a partial. I'm gonna get into that some other time. But I'm just gonna render something called form. Wow, what about new? Just trash this. Powerful refactor, right? It's over 9,000. But here's the crazy part. That's good, right? What about this airplane's controller? Let's see. Airplane find params. Airplane find params. Airplane find params. If I use the code more than 2 or 3 times, find plane. And now I can call find plane here. But then I also have to call it here. Then I also have to call it here. So before the show, before the edit, before the destroy, I'm calling this find plane. I'm never going to call find plane outside my controller. Drop it in the private side. Before any of these particular actions, say I want to call a method called find plane. I want it only on the show,
Oh my God.
edit, update, which I didn't build, and the destroy method. Look up. Look up. Look up. And so before these 3 actions, call a method called find plane. What are your questions?